Haptel, a company be a Sam Dikan Kai, young fan say Baumia and the back Ghana. Okay, and that is rumored. But then it's rumored say or no an engineer a year the whole thing. And Sam Dikan Kai and Haptel, a company be a they are the power behind the power app you use in terms of electricity and also to prepaid that use app no. Into Yusu app now, then you used to buy. You can use the Yusu app now. You can pay through Visa card, Momo, and even pay small. Nina our app no so. The last time I used it, I used the your friend is saying the Visa one. So now no government biaba and per auditing cost will ECG under the thing of John Germany Mahama. They are saying say almost share contracts ni mu nyina no. Omen say 202 out of 347 contracts no are very questionable. So Osha or say ECG terminates 202 out of 347 questionable contracts, reduces Haptel commission from 3% to 1.65%. That's the acting managing director Julius Pekwena. Now, this is where Baumia and Samira Baumia comes in because his fingers say because omuna ona omunsa schedule nasia omuna omkofa Haptel eba Ghana acquires a franchise the ebi tue bia no omunsa ewo mu bi. But then something happened during this year because ECG boss or resign a year before the elections are not cited say financial more fix and say cost ye nkofo tue sika omutimi ba isi mo abeji sika no boom no hu de omude koye say order from above ojaye. Now, after Mahama buyer all year audits, and this is what we are learning. The audits, no, a buyer number one, or a scanner buyer, umpire say, auditing umpire said they paid Haptel over 68 or so million Ghana cedis. That is auditor NPP buyer NPP for a Troy in the records. And Haptel came to say said the money on receiving was actually 25 million. So where is all the 40 million? And now the acting managing director umpire say ECG is a company that is never profitable or parties a contracts be or a questionable to terminate. Now, one of the things you have to note is that somebody will ask, what are some of the contracts? Contract need be say ECG in a company. They require your friend is saying certain things like cables. They require certain things like aluminium components. They require certain things like wires, conductors, certain materials like prepaid meters. And they contract people and people bid and get that contract and supply it to the company. Most of these companies almost supply no. On party say is under a questionable tense and it's under questionable circumstance until Omer revoke. Now we don't know how this will spill over to a year. Your friend is saying Dr. Baumia himself, but then far way into screens no so. In some way, course no amount for so Baumia insa wumnia de adeno, and that's as a Haptel no. All along, no commissioner normal general, it was too exorbitant, which means it was too much, and that's not a idea in Kofubi Esha Sero. NPP people have also started hitting back. We'll be putting this on the screens very soon for you to see exactly what we are talking about. They are saying that the Haptel contracts now, the new patriotic party is perhaps blowing horns about say a questionable near the adeno. I see an umpire say they've reduced the commission from 3% to 1.69%. Umpire say okay. Now, someone posted something on social media on Twitter, definitely an NPP person. What is really going on? I said this doesn't end the issue. In any way, Haptel categorically denied receiving 3% commission on transactions, stating instead that the fee was 1.95% and that 1% retained by upstream service providers. So who is receiving the difference? Or has Haptel actually taken 3% despite publicly denying it? Oral must work. Oh, sorry, by way NDC. So the question is say, okay, Oral say Obia be use app ni biano, the power app no, Haptel and the power app number. ECG4 app no who use app na oh yeah transaction bia percentage be or a core Haptel because they are the brain behind the app constantly, you know, they are making sure they are updating their service and the app is intact. I'll be to me use so obi obey transaction and obi obey to prepaid using the app bia a commission echo Haptel ho. Okay, in that commission echo Haptel ho no previously it was thought to be 3%. And according to Haptel, I'm saying 3%, 1.95%. And now Shah has here the acting managing director of ECG party said it was 3%. Haptel was receiving 3% commission. You see, a reduced by 1.65%. And now Haptel is also saying the percentage was always 1.95. So it was not 3%, it was rather 1.95, and they say NDC reduced about 1.65. Now, Omu posti we no oko Haptel one of omu company portfolio o share ha say or see news.haptel share ha. Haptel does not get 3% of electricity brought to ECG customers. For all merchants and retailers using Haptel platform, we charge a fee of 1.95% on all transactions processed through our payment platform. 1% as through our payment platform. 1% of this 1.9%, also 1% of this out of the 1.95% is typically retained by the mobile money and card scheme providers, and Haptel receives 0.95% as our fee. So Haptel is saying we don't receive 3%. Rather, who use app now top prepaid. It's me to prepaid and use Vodafone cash. Commissioner and that's our transaction also 1.95%. Okay. Some ABM to 30 cities, you have to do a percentage of 1.95% also. In TBA 1.95%, yes, man say a 3 CD like 2 CDs, so 2 CDs, no. Haptel party say they don't take any all the 2 CD. 1% of that 2 CDs, no, or so, no, or pay that 1 CD. Echo the service provider, into mobile money operators, they allow their platform to operate on the Haptel transaction. They retain that 1%. Now, Haptel no mean 0.95%. So Haptel is denying this. Now, I'm quite because there's something there very interesting for me. Also, Haptel gets 3% of every electricity unit purchased by AE. So they are saying there's no difference in ECG's case. Haptel's fee is 0.95%. So Haptel is denying we are not even receiving 3%. We are not even receiving 1.95%. We are rather receiving 0.95% because 1% in echo the Vodafone cash, the MTN mobile money, any Stanbic Bank and various banks amount for Auditor prepaid. I'll say other fees which are not part of Haptel fees include fees retained by upstream payment and already can. So Haptel issue need here, I think say a issue we all need to look at it from another critical perspective. And so now Abranti ni edi kan etro, you know. In his analysis, no, or Pacha say a idea very questionable. Now, we want to play back a video of Solomon Owusu, who was with NPP as Siano. He is with Top Movement for Change, and he was actually dissecting this issue, this criminal things and also Haptel between Haptel, or let me not say criminal, the questionable contract between Haptel and ECG. Let's play this particular video. Now, your boss our video we are perhaps you will get a clear understanding of some of the things and how government and Team Oral is basically trying hard to fish out any shady deals via air course. So, at the end of the day, Haptel says at the end of the day, we make sure that we seal that thing up. We seal all of those loopholes. Yeah, share this particular is the video in. Yeah, share this particular video involved. Can one sem about this whole questionable Haptel contracts people are basically questioning all of this, and people also have a lot of issues with it. I think the video should be loading in a minute. So that is the whole issue so in regards with Haptel, man for party said Mahama should do something. Oral should storm there because NSCU CC, Haptel CC. The big question is which is which? Because we want to know. Okay, and if you don't know, sir, 1% no more can. It sounds small, but obia 1111 CD echo Haptel a huge money.
But to fire that person. Increasing returns 2023 8 billion, 2024 18 billion. Are we okay?
You should take responsibilities.
Yeah, so the MDs must act, and they are not acting. Look, the report is so damning that when I read it, I said, what is happening here? That an entity like Electricity Company of Ghana, they go through Goro Boys, middlemen. And that alone, we lost 251 million. And you think it's just, they don't know their left from right? You strongly believe that the MDs or the board of directors over there do not know that going to the source, which is a basic principle in business, that go to the sun, would reduce the amount of money that will be expended because they are all enjoying from it. You are in this country when the former managing director, Mahama Dubi, came to tell us that he has resigned for personal reasons. He didn't tell us anything. All of a sudden, someone that went and lobbied for a position says, oh, all of a sudden, I'm not interested. And we took it like that. We were there when the board chair came to tell us that, look, I'm not interested anymore. I've resigned on personal reasons. And these are their works. And you want us to sit aloof? Look, 3 things happened under the previous administration that must never happen in our...
And they should be held culpable and responsible.
Look, the issue of sole sourcing was so common under the previous administration. The issue of paying or payment to entities without contract. What is the Attorney General saying? We gave Ajayi in a matter of National Cathedral. You remember the president himself paid Ajayi when there was no contract.
Well, he's a reputed...
Who is that reputed? I was sitting, my roommate was an architect in tech. What drawing? I even Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Burj Khalifa, you know, the tallest building. It costed no more than $2 million for the architect. Did he draw human being that could walk? We pay nonsense and therefore chop people go back and take it and we embellish it. In this report, we are told the hotel was paid a whooping amount of 75 million cedis without any contract. And you want me to take it serious? And people are not talking. Look, we must call the ECG and have a public deba. The public must be angry because we have become the recipient. There are inefficiencies. At the end of the day, we go and pay for it. Do you understand? Look, GMPC, you go and buy a property without a title deed. Which government institution would do that? You go and commit $6.3 million, and you think they don't have sense? If they were the ones going to buy property with their own money, would they have bought a property without a document? It doesn't happen. So on what basis did they establish that the very property that they were buying belonged to the actual person that they were buying from? Yet they committed money to it. They go and guarantee for the Ministry of Finance. Bust. When you have an electronic procurement system that would enable people not to defraud the state, they decided to put that electronic system out and went manual because of chop. You understand? So some of these things, Roland, we cannot take it on the lighter note. You go and call, before this audited report, the PricewaterhouseCoopers had done an audit of the ECG. They told us that they were collecting 15 billion, declaring 10 billion, and even with the 10 billion, they were making available to the cash waterfall mechanism only 6.5 billion cedis. So, well, the rest of the money, where have they kept it? We are in this country that we give money to SML.
What the...
SML.
It's an investigation.
Which one is an investigation? Anybody that has ended up at Insawam started as an investigation. The political class must act. You have been given the power to act. The people in this country are suffering too much.
You think they are not biting hard enough?
We are doing scratch my back, let me scratch your back. What sort of business is this? They come and do this, and then they go away. They get away with it. You get my point. Now we are told that NPA also 280 million. Why? This country, we don't respect money or what? And so, I believe the people of this country must begin to caution, to push the government to do what is right.
So, Solo,
yes.
At the end of the day, why is it that something that is done by individuals who are appointed into public office, be it by the same president or appointing authority, should be blamed on the president and the entire government? Individuals should be held to account.
Yes, I mean, but
why are you saying ultimate culpability or responsibility?
Because the managers have to take they are the ones who are supposed to act in our stead. I cannot be taking decisions for the managing director of ECG. He is there to act in the best interest of the people of this country. And we are not doing that. You collect so much, you decide not to even pay We Power Authority. Look at how much We Power Authority has supplied to $729 million, and you have not paid anything to them. How do you expect them to continue to be in business? And the political class will sit down aloof and not say anything. The last time we had the former board chair, tell the whole country that I know a lot of connection that's happening at the ECG, but they don't do anything about it. So it has become a standing order of the day that people go there, they see it as a milking cow, they cash in on it, they make so much. At the end of the day, the Auditor General report will say that, oh, so much has been stolen. Now the auditor is saying that 15.6 million is recoverable. I don't know how we are going to recover it. If indeed 15.6 billion is recoverable, then why are we in the IMF? They should just go and recover this one.
Okay, so in summer, a year Solomon Wusu edituja. So NBC has say, Nyame boy will be coming your way with more details into this, because now there's a petition flying around to get Bawumia to answer for his role in Haptel. And tomorrow, personally, I'm going to do a lot of investigations for you. Senebeya me babaka, we can actually know that the thing correlation between Bawumia and Haptel, and why and how Oral can use Haptel, the Haptel contracts, to actually prosecute Bawumia if he has any hand in it. So it be see as saying Nyame boy china.